Good evening. I'm Barbara Miller, Board Chair. I'd like to welcome you to the 90th REC Energy Cooperative Annual Meeting. At each table, we will have question sheets. If you have co-op questions, please fill out that form completely and drop them off in the box located in the back of the room. We'll either address the questions tonight or have staff follow up with you sometime in the near future. Before I call the meeting to order, I'd like to ask our Board of Directors to stand and be recognized. That's you, Ron. We thank board members for their hard work and dedication to this co-op. I'm calling the 90th annual meeting of REC Energy Cooperative to order. There are 162 members in attendance, so we do have a quorum. Next on the agenda is the reading of the notice of meeting and proof of notice mailing. Unless there are any objections, we'll waive the reading of the notice of meeting and accept the proof of mailing as found in the annual meeting report. The reading has been waived by unanimous consent. The 2025 annual meeting minutes have been published in the annual report. I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes. I have a motion. Do I have a second? Thank you. Are there any corrections or discussions? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the 2025 annual meeting minutes, please signify by raising your yellow card. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. How's that? Okay. A little different, but we're changing it up. For the treasurer's report, I would refer you to the financial report found in the April magazine that was placed at your table. Next on the agenda is the chair report. I want to thank you for joining us at the Co-op's 90th annual meeting. Back in the mid-1930s, a group of farmers in this area requested power from the local utility company, but they were told it wasn't economically feasible to build power lines to serve those rural areas. It became clear to this group that if rural areas were going to get electricity anytime soon, they would have to do it themselves. And thus the co-op was formed. Less than 15 months later, electricity started flowing into rural Rock County. The co-op had changed a lot since opening its doors in 1936. Over the years, technology has played an increasingly important role in providing you with safe and reliable energy. REC Energy has always looked towards the future to become better and stronger for its members. And in 2026, we envision a tomorrow full of hope and excitement. We have the tools and personnel necessary to meet the ever-changing needs of our valued members and the communities we all call home. As a member, you play an important part in the co-op's governance. Tonight, you will participate in our governance by voting on the proposed bylaw modifications and the election of directors in Districts 7 and 8. Let me briefly review the role of directors, which remains basically the same today as it has been the past 90 years. The board is the governing body of the co-op. The board defines the co-op's mission. We hire and work with the CEO. We approve the annual budget and the audit. and we continually educate ourselves on the ever-changing world of energy. The bottom line is the board works diligently on your behalf. And remember that the directors are members just like you. We live in your neighborhood, we shop in the same stores, and we attend local events, just like all of you. Simply, we care about our communities. From a board standpoint, tonight is bittersweet. We will say goodbye and thanks to longtime board member Marion Trescher, who is retiring after tonight's meeting. A little later, we'll be recognizing Marion for all her many years of service to the co-op, and following the official meeting adjournment, we'll recognize our scholarship winners. As a former longtime educator myself, it's a wonderful feeling to know that the co-op can play a small part in the education of some talented students from our service territory. And as always, we have a great group of young people with us here tonight. I also want to thank all the REC Energy employees. Their hard work and dedication. Over the years, the board believes we have built one of the finest groups of people working at any co-op. This past year, the board recognized our CEO, Shane Larson, for 25 years of service with REC Energy Cooperative. He was also presented the Ally of Cooperative Electrification Award, which you may have seen in pictures and article in our monthly magazine pages. What I would like to add is that in that nomination process for this statewide award, there were many letters of support submitted on Shane's behalf from CEOs of national cooperative organizations in banking, insurance, and managers and CEOs from other cooperatives from across the state and beyond. All in the cooperative utility world recognize Shane's leadership and expertise and has made REC Energy Cooperative a great success in his 25 years. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank you, the members. Our co-op is here because of you. We want what is best for all of our members today, tomorrow, and in the next 90 years. Thank you, and now I'd like to introduce our CEO, Shane Larson, to come up and present his report. He'll review the past year and highlight some important and interesting events for over the past 90 years. Shane.
Well, that was a little off script. Thank you for the nice comments. Well, good evening and welcome. As Madam Chair said, this is the 90th annual meeting. Are there any golfers in here? So did anybody watch the Masters yesterday? All right. Do you remember how many years they've been playing? Leon? 90. 90. Coincidence? 1936? I think it's more than a coincidence that we're the same age, so. All right, so, we're here at the Holiday Inn and Express Convention Center, and it's a little bit back to the future. Some of you may remember that we've had annual meetings in this venue before. In fact, in 2006, we hosted an annual meeting in here, and we had over 800 attendees. So tonight we're looking at a little over 400. So we were pretty popular back in 2006. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more beyond that. But yeah, so we're here. We've been at the Eclipse Center. We've hosted at our shop. And we've been at the fairgrounds. And I'll mention a little bit later, kind of an unusual place where the board and membership met when this all started. So let's take a little walk down. We're going to take a little walk down History Street, but first of all, I'm going to talk about 2025. If you got your booklets, we've got our financials in there, and we had a very, very strong 2025. The board authorized last year to retire $1.4 million back to our membership. and that brought our total to $31,200,000 that the boards currently and in the past have authorized back to our membership. So I've been around long enough that I was here for the 75th anniversary, and at that time, the total amount was about $9 million. So between our 75th and 90th, we went from $9 million to $31.2 million. So that's a lot of money going back to our membership. Operationally, you know, our crews are doing an outstanding job. We've had a few outages. Heaven knows that the wind seems to blow here more than my home state of Nebraska anymore. It just seems a little annoying. We continue to invest back into the co-op. We spend a great deal of resources on vegetation management, pole replacement, animal protection, system upgrades, and those upgrades include new substations. But I can tell you though, when we do have an outage, our linemen get out there and do a wonderful job real quick. On the natural gas side, we continue to have very competitive rates, reliable service, and again, when there's emergency calls, our crews do a wonderful job responding. All right, let's take a long way back to 1936. I was originally going to spend a minute per year, but then the weather looked a little iffy, so I thought I don't think 90 minutes would be appropriate. So we were founded in 1936, the same year that FDR, that was Franklin Delano Roosevelt for the younger group, was president, and he signed the Rural Electrification Act. So we started the same year that FDR signed the Rural Electrification Act. And back then, we were called Rock County Electric Cooperative Association. And there was a membership fee. And back in 1936, board members and those that were very interested in starting a co-op had to go out and had to get membership money. And it was $5. And there were a great number of people that were like, we're not going to pay $5. We don't know if this thing's going to last. So they said, no, thanks, but no thanks. Later, that was reduced down to $2, trying to have a little sale going on. And now it's $0. So how many things can you talk about have actually gone down in price? That's one of them. So I mentioned that we have, you know, all the different places we've had annual meetings. The 1938 annual meeting was held at a place called Beverly Theater in Janesville. How many people have heard of Beverly Theater? Yeah, I had no idea. So when this Rock County first started, they borrowed $430,000 from REA to build 414 miles of line. They took out a 3% mortgage for 20 years. I can tell you that $430,000 is about half of what a substation transformer costs today. So we've seen a little price escalation. We were talking over at one of the tables. Our first power supply contract took place in 1937. It was a 3-year contract with Fairbanks Morris. So they were our first power supplier. We've had multiple offices. Of course, when we first started, we didn't have any office, but the boards met at the YMCA. Anybody remember well, we still have YMCA, so that's. Then in 1938, we built an office on Holmes Street. Unfortunately, in 1940, we built it in 1938, and in 48, it burned down. It was rebuilt in 1949, and then in 1984, we are at our current office for I call it our world headquarters in Janesville on Kennedy Road. So let's look at some statistics from 1936 to current. So the number of meter members, of course, started at 0, and now we have just under 30,000. Full-time employees went from 0 to about 48 currently. Revenue went from 0 to just about $70 million a year. Our utility plant started at 0, of course, and now we have about $185 million. Electric lines went from 0. We have about 1,100 miles of electric line, and of course with natural gas, started at 0. We have over 180 miles of natural gas. So, yeah, we've done some growing over the years. Now I thought I'd take a look at some of the significant events that took place between 1936 and today. These are my, there are a huge number of events that I could have picked. And some of them aren't really events, but things that happen gradually, like the first, I would say, is equipment. You know, back in the early days, the poles were set by hand. They dug the holes by hand, they climbed the poles, and of course now we've got bucket trucks, digger derrick, trenchers. So it's a lot more efficient and productive for our crews. Then I want to mention maybe something that you all don't think about too much is the evolution of metering. Back in the early days, they really trusted our membership. They had self-read bills. So a bill went out, the members read their own bills, or read their own meters, wrote it down on the stub, sent it back to the office, and that was calculated, and a new bill was sent out. So I'm not sure that would fly in today's world. 30 below zero, go out and read that meter. And the meters were hard to read back then. They were the pointer types versus the dials. So then we evolved to meter readers. Then our next step was a thing called an AMI, an automated meter reading device, or an AMR. And they were affectionately called turtles. They were devices, meters at the members' homes that sent the readings back over the power lines, and it took a full day for it to get back to the office, but it was pretty slick, worked out really well. But then today we have what's called AMI, Automated Meter Reading Infrastructure. This is a little like Big Brother. We read that meter constantly. We know exactly what you're using all the time. But one of the wonderful things about that is outage notifications. Used to be that you had an outage, you'd have to get on the phone and call, which we still recommend you would do if there's something that is unusual about your outage, like you see a tree down or like a squirrel hanging from the pole, which is unfortunately too common. But when there's an outage, we almost instantly know that there's an outage at your meter because we're not getting back that continuous signal. So that definitely helps with our member service. Now, and with us knowing exactly what our members are using, it allows us to design rates that are more equitable and better suited for the co-ops and our members. Next, I want to talk about when we acquired our Illinois territory. And that was on February 6, 2007. And on February 5th, we had about 6,700 meters. The next day, we go from 6,700 meters on the electric side to 18,000. And then we went from 0 gas meters to 8,000. So we quadrupled our size in one day with the acquisition. I've talked about it in the past at this meeting. It has been extremely important for all of our members, including our Wisconsin members. It allowed us to have economies of scale, low diversity, and as a result of that, we have some of the lowest rates in 2 states, Wisconsin and Illinois. At the 2007 annual meeting, which was right after the acquisition, we changed our name from Rock County Electric Cooperative Association, which is very long, to Rock Energy Cooperative. That embodied all the different counties, townships, and the fact that now that we sell natural gas. Then in 2008, we expanded our office, and we broke ground in 2008, and a couple years later, a year and a half later, we opened a new district office in South Beloit. I'm sure some of you have seen it. It's a very nice office, and it's worked out very, very well, particularly for our Illinois members. And the last historical event I want to mention tonight is our investment in the West Riverside Power Plant. I know I talked about it last year. This is the power plant that's located between Janesville and Beloit. It's just off of Highway 51. It's a combined cycle natural gas plant. After 3 years of construction, it went online in 2020. And the reason we participate in it is because it saves our members a lot of money. Last year, it saved us 23% on our power bill. And our power bills are big. So 23% flows right back to our members. As I said, I could go through hundreds of names of people that were very important to the co-op, but I just thought I'd touch on a few that I just listed off. Now, as Barb mentioned, we have one of our directors retiring tonight, Marion Tresher. 26 years ago, when the Rock County Electric Cooperative Board hired me, her husband was on the board. Howard was a very strong believer in co-ops. But he was also probably one of the best delegators I've ever seen. I remember going to one of my first meetings where he was at, and he had his own note taker with him. I'm like, how is that? I need one of those. Turned out it was Marion. So yeah, we lost Howard, and then we had an open seat, and Marion ran for it, and she was elected. And it was kind of it was one of those situations where, because she had been involved so much with the co-op, that she literally hit the ground running, and she knew so much of the history of the board. So it was like getting all those years of experience with Howard and the enthusiasm that she brought to the board. I can't say thank you enough, Marion. You're always somebody that we can count on. You offered tremendous leadership. In 2022, she won the little thing called the ACE Award as well, and I had the honor of introducing her. And I mentioned Shakespeare, a line from Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Dream, where it says that, "And though she be but little, she is fierce." She's not mean, she's just very fierce when it comes to the co-op. She's a strong supporter, and always kind of wanted to watch her take on somebody, as far as intellectually, not physically, but because they didn't stand a chance. So, Marion, congratulations on your outstanding tenure with REC Energy Cooperative. Thank you for your untiring dedication to the co-op. Everyone at the co-op appreciates all you have done. We hope you enjoy the many, many years with your wonderful family. So I'm going to wrap it up. I want everybody to think about this. Once a group of men, there were 5 incorporators back in 1936 that signed our Articles of Incorporation. And our first line was energized in 1937. But once that happened, the co-op never had a day off. Every minute for the next 90 years was covered. Now, of course, we had the offices closed, but if somebody had a problem, we have people on staff all the time. So I used AI. We got to talk about AI tonight, right? That's appropriate. I asked AI, so between the first when we energized in 1937 and today, how many days was that? 32,399 days, 4,628 weeks, 777,576 hours this co-op has been available for its membership. It's never had a day off. So it was quite a commitment by those directors to do that. I love these pictures that we've had going on earlier. I think it's super important that particular employees see those so they know where we came from, because this just didn't magically happen. It took a lot of hard work. It took people collecting $5, $3, and taking a risk on that mortgage. And here we are today. I want to say congratulations to the scholarship kids. As Barb said, we always have a tremendous group. And hopefully you got a little bit of a history lesson. The money that's being provided to the scholarships are because of our membership, and it goes way, way back. So hopefully it'll have a little bit of meaning. Thank you to the board for your support, dedication to the membership. Thank you to all our employees. You do an outstanding job. I know we don't say thank you enough. Nobody really gets into this business to hear thanks all the time. They just know that they're doing the right thing for our members. And thank you to the membership, particularly you that come out tonight and participate in the governance of the co-op. It's very, very important. We're here because of you, and we're going to be here all the time because of you. You know, the co-op survived depressions, recessions, pandemics, and every sort of weather. And there are going to be a lot of challenges ahead. But I'm very, very confident that we're going to be positioned very well to serve the members for the next 90 years. I just probably won't be here at the 180th, but maybe some of the kids in the kids' room will be here. So thank you for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it and hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Shane. We'll now have director elections and vote on the proposed bylaw modifications. I'd like to introduce our attorney, Jessica Thresda, who will handle the board member elections and the proposed bylaw changes. Before Jessica begins, I'd like to share that the board had some very thorough discussions on the proposed bylaw changes and ultimately voted unanimously to present them here tonight to you. Jessica.
Thank you and good evening. Before we turn to the director elections, I would like to note that the candidates were all nominated by the nominating committee in accordance with the bylaws. And the nominating committee is made up of several members, probably here this evening. This year it consisted of Laura Conrad from District 6, Bill Deach from District 7, and Kenneth Malton from District 8. A copy of the minutes from the nominating committee meeting is included in your meeting materials. So thank you to those committee members for serving. Next, I would like to introduce you to the two candidates who are up for election this evening, each of whom accepted their nomination by the nominating committee. When I say your name, if you want to just either stand or wave. From District 7, we have Derek Roth. Thank you, Derek. And from District 8, we have Ron Richards. And thank you, Ron. There is also, you may have noticed, an open seat for District 6, and we do not have a nominee for that district. But as Barb previewed, there are a couple of proposed bylaw changes for your consideration this evening, and one of those proposals would allow for a reduced number of directors. So if that bylaw change passes, we anticipate that that open seat for District 6 would not be filled, and instead the districts would be reapportioned. I will come back to that later, but just to give some explanation. So now with respect to Districts 7 and 8, because there is only one candidate for each seat, making this an uncontested election, the bylaws allow for election without the need to cast written ballots. As such, we're going to proceed to voting using the yellow voting cards, which you received at registration. So all in favor of re-electing Derek Roth as director for District 7 and re-electing Ron Richards as director for District 8, please indicate your approval by raising your voting card at this time. Thank you. Any opposed? Do the same sign. All right, thank you, and congratulations, gentlemen. We do appreciate your willingness to continue to serve on the board. Okay, so next we will turn to the proposed bylaw revisions recommended by the Board of Directors. They are on the back page of your magazine, if you wanted to take a look there. There are two proposed revisions. I'm going to first sort of go over what each revision would do, and then we'll vote on each proposal separately. So the first proposal is to amend the various sections of the bylaws that relate to the number of directors and districts. Currently, the bylaws require the cooperative to have 9 districts and 9 directors. And I wish I knew the answer to this, but it occurred to me as Shane was speaking that there's some history here. I suspect it started with a requirement to have 5. Currently, we're at 9. The proposed amendment would allow the cooperative some flexibility and allow between 7 and 9 districts and directors. So that's, right, could change on a year-to-year basis depending on interest and the cooperative's needs. The board concluded that this would be helpful as there are not always interested or qualified members willing to serve on the board. And reducing the number of directors would also be in line with current trends in electric cooperatives, both in Wisconsin and Illinois, and across the country. I do want to note there is a small correction that I'd like to incorporate. If there's no objection, we'll deem that correction to be part of the proposed amendment. And that's in the section 3, it states the terms shall be staggered so that at least 2, and then it should read parentheses 2, and it just, the way it was printed, the 2 also was crossed out. So nothing substantive, but wanted to note that for the record. That would be included with the proposal. The second proposal is related, but a little different, is to reduce the number of mandatory board meetings from 12 monthly meetings to having at least 9 board meetings throughout the year. The board recommends this change because holding a monthly meeting is not always feasible or necessary. For example, the meeting in December is frequently between Christmas and New Year, which can be very difficult to schedule. It's also not always necessary, and so with this proposal, there would again be more flexibility for the board in allowing their governance. And of course, the board could meet more frequently if needed. So again, we'll vote on the 2 proposals separately, but at this time, I'd like to open the floor for discussion or questions on either or both of these proposals, if there's any member who would like to speak. All right. Seeing none, we will proceed to a vote. So again, first we'll do a vote on the proposal relating to the number of directors and districts. And that would be as presented in your annual meeting materials, but with that minor correction that I just mentioned. So all in favor of that first proposal, please indicate your approval by raising your yellow voting card at this time. Okay, thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion or the proposal carries, so that will be an amendment. We'll get that updated in the bylaws. Next up is the proposed bylaw change to reduce the number of mandatory board meetings. That's as presented in the annual meeting materials. All in favor, please indicate your approval by raising your voting cards at this time. Thank you. Any opposed? All right, thank you. You're all excellent at voting. That also has passed, and I will turn it back to your board chair, Barb. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. Unfinished business, according to Robert's rules, includes any matters deferred to this year's meeting from last year's meeting. There were no such matters, so we will now turn to new business. New business, according to Robert's rules, includes specific matters identified on the meeting agenda as new business and any matters formally deferred during the course of the meeting to be taken up under this agenda item. There were no such matters, so we'll move forward in answering a question or two from the membership.
All right, so the first question is a little loaded. How much will rates increase with data centers? Ooh, the crowd groans. Well, this isn't going to happen to ROC for a while, so anything I would talk about would be speculative as far as ROC. But I can tell you that as utilities, they're working really hard, those that are getting data centers, to make sure all that their costs are covered up front, so that their customers, in the case of IOUs, or members, because there are co-ops that are building infrastructure on behalf of data centers, they're getting all the money up front, and it can be hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And obviously the challenge right now is where's all the electricity going to come from? So that all has to be worked out. But if a data center does land in a utility, that I can also tell you that that utility is counting on those rates to subsidize the rest of their customers or members in the case of co-ops, because those are large users, and that would mean a lot of revenue flowing into the utilities. So that's just the one side. I know there's lots of nuances to that. So another question we got, is there a way to see my electrical and gas usage? Wow, good question. I've got all kinds of people in the back that can help you with that. If you got one of those little .com smart machines, those smartphones, you can download an app and tap right into your usage. You can see it almost real time. So I'd encourage you to do that. Smart Hub is what the app is called. And I think we actually have some videos on our YouTube site to help with that. This really isn't a question. It's more of well, actually it's a comment and then a question. This is the best meeting ever. When do we eat? So you don't have to answer that. I'm not in charge.
Soon, I promise, soon. But we have two more things that we need to wrap this up with. But the 2 winning tickets, the numbers for our door prizes. In honor of this co-op's 90th annual meeting, each winner will receive a $90 credit on an upcoming REC Energy bill. I'll read the number off, and if this is your number, please stand so that a REC Energy team member can bring you the $90 certificate for you to use on a future payment. Here we go. Number 1, 84233551. We have a winner. Remain standing so they can find you. Very good. Second ticket number is 678297. Please stand if it's yours. Congratulations. And another item on the agenda in recognition of our retiree. It's truly an honor to stand here this evening and recognize and celebrate the retirement of a remarkable individual whose dedication has made a lasting difference in so many ways to her community and specifically this co-op. Marion Trescher's 21 years of service as a board director of REC Energy Cooperative represents leadership that balances the needs of its members, making tough decisions, and always keeping the long-term good of the co-op in mind. Marion has done all of that with integrity, wisdom, and grace. She has helped guide this cooperative not just in keeping the lights on, but in strengthening the connection between the co-op and the people it serves, you, the members. Marion has served as board secretary and chair of the Education and Community Funding Committee, and I'll mention that during our scholarship presentation. She attended each year many meetings across the state, regional, and national level. She has received various co-op certifications, such as credentialed cooperative director, board leadership, and director gold. Marion has also served on the Wisconsin Electric Cooperative Association's Education Committee. That's a statewide organization, as well as the Federated Youth Foundation board member, which that's where our funds come from, and we'll mention that in scholarship more later. Marion was awarded in 2022, as Shane mentioned, the ACE Award, that is a statewide award from the Wisconsin Electric Cooperative Association. Since we're celebrating 90 years of REC Energy, I would also like to make you aware of the Trescher family history with this cooperative. Marion's 21 years goes farther back, as Shane mentioned, to her husband, Howard, who did serve on this board for a total of 43 years. He was very busy farming, working at General Motors, and raising a family. It was Marion, that note keeper, who helped Howard in his cooperative duties by preparing a monthly agenda, the minutes, as well as the travel details to statewide, regional, and national meetings. It was during these years where many organizations selected a queen as a promotional representative, kind of like our Dairy Queen or 4-H Queen. Marion and Howard coordinated and implemented a statewide queen competition to represent the cooperatives, where a local Milton girl, Sandy Torkelson, was chosen and went on to earn a national title as Miss Rural Electrification. In 1973, Howard and Marion, along with their family, escorted Sandy across the country for all her cooperative promotional appearances. The Tresher family goes even further back, as Marion's father-in-law, William Tresher, served 10 years as a director for the co-op. So let's do some math, Marion. Appropriate, since Marion served the Janesville and Milton school districts as a math teacher for 27 years. So let's add Marion's 21 years, assisting Howard for 43 years, and then another 10. That is 74 years that the Treshers have served this cooperative. Quite remarkable, and I really wonder if there's any other examples in the electric cooperative world that would even come close to 7 decades of service. So as Marion retires from this role, we know that the legacy continues for all of us who benefit from this cooperative. With the Treshers who have served in the 74 years of REC Energy's 90-year history, a legacy certainly to be proud of. But I should also mention another great accomplishment, and that is that Marion has built a family that surrounds her every day. It includes 3 children, Linda, Deb, and Bill, 10 grandchildren, 18 great-grandchildren, and another due to arrive, I hear, soon. Joining her here tonight is her daughter, Deb Arnold, with Don, Allie, Johnny, Val, as well as her daughter, Linda Rorty, with Ashley and Kendrick. But beyond her accomplishments, what truly stands out is who she is, a leader who listens, a colleague who supports others, and a person who genuinely cares about her community. As you step into this next chapter, we wish you all the very best. May it be filled with happiness, relaxation, and new opportunities to enjoy all the things you love. Please join me in thanking Marion Tresher for her outstanding years of service. We wanted to present to Marion for her years of service. This is the meter, old-style meter, the dial that spins around, that is made into a lamp. So all that history in our electric cooperative that she'll be able to enjoy. Well, we've come to the end of the official annual meeting, so I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by your yellow card. Yay! Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. We are now officially adjourned with the business portion of the meeting. While dinner is being served, we will have our high school scholarship presentation. But before we enjoy dinner, I would like to have our board treasurer, Ron Richards, come up and ask for the blessing.
Well, I would ask everybody, please pray with me. Lord, we come before you tonight to give thanks for another successful year. And as we celebrate REC Energy's 90th anniversary, we humbly ask for your wisdom and blessing in the future, and that we would continue to have your hand of protection on each one of our employees who are a critical part in making our co-op what it is today. And that you would give the board of directors wisdom to make wise decisions in the future. We give you thanks for the meal and the hands that have prepared it for us, and ask that you would bless it. We pray this in the name of Jesus Christ, your Son, our Lord and Savior. Amen. Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you, Ron. We will now present this year's REC Energy Cooperative Scholarship recipients. Assisting with the scholarship presentation will be Bill Fisher. A scholarship committee member. The other committee member that could not be with us tonight, Todd Thompson, would be here, but he had knee surgery today. Todd replaced Marion on this committee, who served for 21 years. Each year she read the applications, which could be as many as 55 to 65 applications. There are approximately 5 pages in each application. So again, recognizing you as a former math teacher, Marion, you have read a rough estimate of approximately 1,155 applications. And multiply that by the pages each applicant submitted, you probably read 5,250 pages. So Marion, thank you again for your time and dedication in serving on this committee. We know as you retire from this role, your legacy will continue in every student who has benefited from your work. Your steady guidance has helped power financial assistance and futures. Thank you for lighting the ways of others. So I'd like to bring your attention to some background information regarding how this committee was formed. It's something that kind of goes unnoticed, but it makes a meaningful difference, and that is unclaimed capital credits from our cooperative. As members of a cooperative, we all share in its success. When the co-op earns margins, those are eventually returned to members as capital credits. But sometimes for various reasons, people move, address changes, or simply lost contact, those credits go unclaimed. Our cooperative puts them to work in a powerful way. They are invested into the Federated Youth Foundation, along with many other cooperatives across the state. REC Energy's FYF account grows each year, which supports programs like the Youth Leadership Conference, the Washington, D.C. Youth Tour, and of course, the scholarships we're awarding tonight. And we have some scholarship recipients here tonight who have taken advantage of YLC and the Washington, D.C. experience. I believe Jaden, Aiden, Thomas, Grayson. We'll have them introduce themselves here in a minute. And for those of you with children who are in high school, are coming to high school, or you cooperative members out there who may know of neighbors, please watch for all communication that the REC Energy office sends out, such as the website, magazines, bill stuffers, emails, for more information on this valuable opportunity. The Youth Leadership Conference and the Washington, D.C. Tour are incredible opportunities for students to travel, learn about leadership, and gain a deeper understanding of how cooperatives and government work together. For many of the students, this experience is life-changing. It broadens perspectives, builds confidence, and inspires future leaders. And finally, these funds contribute to high school scholarships. Education is one of the most important investments we can make in our young people. By supporting scholarships, our cooperative helps ease financial burdens and opens the doors for students to pursue their dreams. What is truly special that these programs are powered by something as simple as unclaimed capital credits, funds that are redirected to create opportunity and education. It's a reflection of what the cooperative is all about, neighbors helping neighbors, and communities investing in their own future. So while unclaimed capital credits may seem small or insignificant at first glance, their impact is anything but. They are helping shape strong leaders, brighter futures right here in REC Energy's service territory. So this year, the committee received a total of 55 applications. The recipients represent 10 high schools in our distribution service territory. These students will receive $1,000 for their first year and are eligible for another $1,000 their second year of college. At this time, I will ask each of them to come up, introduce themselves, share the high school they are graduating from, who they have with them here tonight, the university they're attending, and their plan of study. So let's get started. Okay.
Hi, I'm Ian Steinke. I'm from Milton High School, and I have my mom and dad with me tonight. I'm going to UW Platteville for civil engineering.
Hi, my name is Allie Beeman. I'm from Parkview High School. My parents here today are Chad and Lisa Beeman, and I will be going to Blackhawk Tech for nursing.
I'm Amber Chambers. I'm graduating from Hananiga. I'm here with my mom and my dad, and I plan to study mechanical engineering at Iowa State University.
Hello, I'm Angeline Lopez Velasquez. My mom is here with me. I'm a senior from South Beloit High School, and I'm planning on going to Rock Valley, and I'm going to go into forensics.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Avery Eastman. I am graduating from Janesville Parker. I have both my parents with me tonight, Rob and Derry Eastman. I am attending Ripon College and will be studying exercise science.
Hi, my name is Beverly Brewer. I am graduating from Clinton High School. My parents here are Amy and Robert Brewer. I will be attending Southwest Tech and planning on studying animal science.
Hello, my name is Brooke Franklin, and I attend Hananiga Community High School. I'm here with my parents, David and Jennifer Franklin. In the fall, I will be attending Michigan State University, where I'll be studying psychology.
Hi, I'm Grayson Hannah Downey. I'm here with my mom, I'm graduating from Milton High School, here with my mom and my uncle over there. I'll be going to Beloit College next year to study finance and quantitative economics.
Hi, my name is Harper Powell, and I am here with my mom and dad tonight, and I'm graduating from Hananiga High School. I plan on going to University of North Carolina, Wilmington, and studying biology.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isaiah Kukowski. I'm graduating from South Beloit High School. My mom and my dad, Aisha and Josh Kukowski, are here today with me. I plan to attend UW-Madison to study biology.
Hello, my name is Jada Mosley. I'm graduating from Beloit Turner High School. My parents are Joe and Julie Mosley. The university I'll be attending is UW-Platteville to study construction management, and I was a part of the YLC Youth Board that went to Washington.
Hello, my name is Joe Collins. I am graduating from Clinton High School. I'm here with my parents, Jeff and Kathy Collins. I will be attending Platteville to study animal science. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kaylee Dreamer. I am from Milton High School. My parents are with me tonight, Tony and Melissa Dreamer. I will be attending UW-Platteville in the fall for animal science and ag business.
Hello, my name is Caitlin Piggott. I'm graduating from Hononegah Community High School. My mom and my stepdad are here with me tonight. In the fall, I will be attending Colorado Christian University in Lakewood, Colorado, studying pre-medicine.
Hi everyone, my name is Lily Musgrove. I am graduating from Milton High School. I'm here with my grandma and my mom. I plan to attend UW Green Bay for nursing with a minor in Spanish.
Hi, my name's Lily Kettner. I go to Milton High School. I'm with my mom and dad. I'll be studying at UW Whitewater for physical therapy.
Hello, I'm Morgan Abadi. I'm graduating from South Beloit High School. Tonight I'm here with my parents, Angel and Greg Abadi. I'm going to the University of Dubuque where I'm studying nursing.
Hi, my name is Parker Coots. I'm graduating from Clinton High School. I'm here with my parents, Breen and Kevin Coots, and I'll be attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison to get my master's degree in nutrition and dietetic sciences.
Hello, my name is Ryan Kanak. I am graduating from Freeport High School this year. I have my mom with me. Hi, Mom. How's it going? University I plan on attending is the University of Wisconsin Stout for Industrial and Product Design. And yeah, that's it.
Hi, my name is Sydney Watson. I'm graduating from Edgerton High School. My parents with me are Kurt and Leah Watson, and I'm going to UW Stevens Point, and my major is currently undecided.
Hello, my name is Thomas Peters. I'm graduating from Beloit Turner High School. I'm here tonight with my parents, Dan and Cindy, and my siblings, Evan and Caitlin. In the fall, I will be going to UW Stevens Point. I will be double majoring in social studies education and community sustainability. I was also on the YLC Youth Board and attended Washington, D.C. It was pretty awesome.
Thank you to these 2026 high school seniors for joining us here tonight. It's good to see you and hear all the exciting endeavors with your future plans. Would also like to recognize those who also received a scholarship this year but could not attend this evening. Natalie Harris from Evansville High School, Anushri Primand from Hononegah, Giovanni Mayers from Parker, and Isabel Leitner from Hononegah, and I'm sure I mispronounced somebody's name there. As I mentioned, they will receive $1,000 for their first year of college, and with our Federated Youth Foundation account, Growth Healthy, we are able to give them a second-year scholarship for another $1,000. Last year's graduates, the 2025 seniors, have received the same deal. So I would like to bring your attention to the screen to announce those second-year scholarships. It'll come. That concludes this evening's presentations. We hope you enjoy the rest of your dinner. And thank you all very much for joining us here this evening. We look forward to seeing everyone next year for our 91st annual meeting. Thank you.